Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Will's Mediumship and Numerology channel. If you're new to my channel, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscriptions. Okay, so what I'd like to do is to continue on with another mediumship seance type interview with one of the witches who was killed during the Salem's Massachusetts witch trials. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting guest that I would like to introduce to you guys very shortly. We're going to share some sentiments from the one and only Mrs. Bridget Bishop. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, prior to getting into this reading, I'm going to give you a little backdrop of the situation just to get you a bit more acquainted. Okay? If you like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button so that you receive all future readings. Okay? So, in early February 1692, the devil comes to Salem. Betty Paris is sitting quietly by the night fire, without any warning, as if struck by an invisible force. The 9-year-old goes into convulsions. She starts flailing, her arms flying into the air, her body twisting into bizarre positions. She is hurled onto the floor, screaming in fear, then barking like a dog. There's a pause, and she straightens, a pleading look in her eyes, then it starts again. She shrieks in pain, she whines, then crawls on the furniture. "I've got the fever," young Betty cries. As quickly as the fit began, it ends. The girl collapses onto the floor helpless. Tituba rushes to her aid and informs her master, Reverend Paris. Over the next few days, it happens again and again. Then cousin Abigail is afflicted by the same mysterious force. Her fits are more dramatic than Betty's. During one of them, she runs wildly around the house, almost falling into the fireplace. Abigail grabs pieces of burning wood and throws them. Reverend Deodat Lawson, who is visiting the Paris home when this happens, writes, stretching up her arms as high as she could and crying, "Wish, wish," several times. Word about Betty and Abigail spreads quickly throughout Salem. People are talking, although in hushed, sacred whispers. It could happen to their children. It could happen to them. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the one and only Bridget Bishop. So, before introducing her and to ask her a few messages here, I'm just going to give you a little backdrop of the time period and also Bridget herself, and then I'm going to ask her a few questions, okay? So, collectives, understand that during that time, every aspect of life in New England was governed by the church. And women had to um, wear gowns that touched the floor and were forbidden. And they were forbidden, ladies and gentlemen, to wear lace, okay? Married women had no legal rights. Displays of affections in public, ladies and gentlemen, could you believe that, was also not allowed, okay? So on June 10th, 1692, which happens to be my birthday, June the 10th, after 70 years, ladies and gentlemen, after the Puritans, came on the Mayflower and they reached common soil or American soil, we have this Bridget Bishop from England, okay? She was a second generation of immigrants. Her first husband died of an unknown illness, ladies and gentlemen, leaving her with 3 young children. She was a person who marched to the beat of her own drummer, if you will, okay? And she often was governed by her own rules. She was a rebel, if you will, at all costs. Even when whatever she did conflicted with Puritans, with whatever the Puritans dictated during the time. Her clothes that she wore it certainly went against, tradition or convention. They were very flashy, and she spoke openly to men. And of course, women were not allowed to do that. And her independent attitude, ladies and gentlemen, kind of turned many away from her. Okay. She was also very attractive here, and she remarried several times too, but it looks like that after her husband died, she married into or remarried into disaster to this Thomas Oliver, okay, who had a very nasty temper, okay, and he physically abused her, okay. And but because she was so different, ladies and gentlemen, she became a target for anger and frustrations of all of the town people there. Rumors begin spreading. Bridget Oliver is a witch, okay? And at the time, ladies and gentlemen, England's Witchcraft Act of 1604 ruled that a witch who commits a minor offense could be imprisoned for at least a year. And of course, the penalty for committing a second act was death. Massachusetts Bay's 1641 Body of Liberties includes the biblical admonition: if any man or woman be a witch, that is, hath or consulted with a familiar spirit, they shall be put to death. Such executions, ladies and gentlemen, began in 1647. They started originally in the Connecticut colony. 37 women were tried for witchcraft. 11 were committed and hung by the neck until dead. So in Salem, Bridget's life took the same terrible turn, okay? She was a homemaker. Well, actually, a homemaker named Samuel Gray claimed her spirit was present when his child died. Another neighbor testified she paid her for some work to do, and all of a sudden the money disappeared from his pocket. She also said he also said, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that Bridget asked him if his father would mill her grain. Bridget had no protection, ladies and gentlemen, and when her husband died, people throughout Salem whispered she was a bad wife and used witchcraft to kill him. So this is his second husband. And as time went on, several other residents, accused Bridget as being a witch here. So she really didn't have much that she could do here. And Bridget later went on again, and she married um, Edward Bishop, which is her name that we know her as in terms of the last person she married. And she married him in 1685 here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is to select a card here from the Modern Witches Tarot deck. And I feel that the Fool would best describe her. Okay. And I'm also going to take out my dominoes as well, just to get a fuller indication. And of course, it may say the same thing that I've already said to you that I've discovered from having done research here. So I'm going to go through the deck now, and I'm finding the Empress. And then I'm going to say a quick prayer, ladies and gentlemen, just to get me in tune to this reading. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with others to whom you think might benefit. And be sure to press that subscription button so each and every one of you receives these readings as soon as they actually upload. Okay? So let's get ready to get started, to get focused here. And I'm going to go on and I'm going to say a quick prayer here just to get my mind and my full body into tune to what this Miss Bishop is about to tell us, okay? So, dear God, dear Holy Spirit, dear brother who are deceased, mother and father, stand with me, Archangel Michael, and all of my angels. I ask that you watch over this experience, making certain that only the message of God will come through. Please protect both Miss Bishop and myself from malevolent forces. Please help me release my ego fears so that I can clearly see, clearly hear, and feel and know the messages that Miss Bridget would like to, or Miss Bishop would like to impart to us today. Okay? So, with that said, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go on and just shake up my dominoes here. And I'm going to let Bridget guide me to the dominoes that best describe her, or at least give us further insight into her attributes or to her personality here. So let's go and select 3 here. Okay, let's see. We have 2 and we have 6. So this certainly shows that she was a very emotional person, and she was a domestic type person. She liked things or the pleasantries that can be found within the home here. She was very sensitive, I'm seeing. Okay. Of course, this 6 here is she wants everyone to know that she was certainly very attractive here, very refined in some way, and she was also very sociable, which of course, she broke tradition. Let's select another tile. I'm only going to select 3 here. Wow, we have the 2 again. So that's further emphasizing the fact that she was very emotional, sensitive, intuitive. Okay, and this 4 here, it further emphasizes the fact that she was intuitive and was, in fact, interested in the occult or metaphysics. She was interested in things of the ordinary. So that is a true statement that she definitely might have practiced witchcraft here. Okay, let's look at another tile. We have 4 again. Wow, that's strengthening the message that perhaps that she was, in fact, involved in metaphysics or the occult witchcraft. She was also, with this 5, she liked traveling. She liked to read and write and do research, and she certainly liked and enjoyed sex. I'm getting a sense that she might have been a bit promiscuous as well, too, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's go on and just add up all these. Okay, it looks like we have the number. It equates to 23 here. And so let's go on and break it down. 2 plus, well, add it up. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So that further emphasizes the fact that she was very active, and she liked to read. She loves to travel, and she loved multiple relations, it seems, because she liked sex so much. All right. So let's go on and get started and seeing what messages that Mrs. Bishop would like to share with us. So let's get started. So immediately immediately picking up this card, I get a strong impression that she's certainly given me a strong impression that she had deeply ingrained beliefs, okay, that often went against the norms and customs. And of course, that's what we've already kind of mentioned of her time. She says that she was, in fact, a risk taker here, okay? And she hated being conservative. Actually, what I wanted to choose was the Fool here, and I think I chose the Empress. But we're going to just add the Fool here so I can get more information by just adding this card. Just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this discussion, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button so that you can receive other future readings, okay? So let's see if we can find this Fool card here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use both the Fool and this to give me a stronger message here. She's telling me that she was very much concerned about money, which inhibited her from growing emotionally, I'm kind of getting, as she would have liked. She was very strong-willed, I'm getting a strong sense here. Stubborn, even perhaps, it looks like that she even perhaps hoarded her resources, I'm kind of feeling. So, Miss Bishop, can you tell me a bit more about yourself beyond what you've already indicated and beyond what we've already, kind of discovered and researched and the dominoes that you've guided me to share with the world here? Wow, ladies and gentlemen. She says she's actively hunting the area where she died. She's showing me a lot of toxic situations that she experienced. And she's in a lot of self-doubt. She feels a bit hopeless, enslaved in some way, or just feeling a bit battered because she was in life here. Even she's telling me that I'm kind of feeling too that she may have drank heavily or just did something a little bit too much here, even if it might have been just having sex excessively. All right, what are the issues? Can you tell me a little bit more about your passing or the issues surrounding your death? She's showing me an earth sign male that is the cause of her death here, and it's either an earth sign or an air sign type male here that she's pointing to, and it might be the king here. I'm not sure what his sign was, but or that dressmaker that kind of started all of this stuff. But she's certainly showing that a male had everything to do with her passing. Okay, so Mrs. Bishop, spirits tend to make their presence known in a variety of ways. How did you tend to come around here, particularly when it comes to like showing up for your descendants here? Okay. She says, ladies and gentlemen, that while living, she did truly enjoy being a mother, as the dominoes told us, okay, that she was fond of, the home. And she says she was very fond of raising her kids. She says she appears when others need to be nurtured in some way or loved. And she's showing me that she's been coming in dreams too. So, Miss Bishop, is there an urgent message that you'd like to not only share with your descendants, but also to the world? Okay. Wow, God, she is very pressed to hunt that area where she was killed here. Okay. But she is saying that change is inevitable and that she's entered or trying to enter a new phase. And I can't see how she is when she wants to hunt. But we're going to get to the bottom line of that. Okay. So, our next question would be, since you are hunting or you desire to do so, can I at least have you help you move on? Wow, she's giving me a resounding no. Okay, she's telling me that she feels her life was stolen from her. She feels betrayed, and she seems to have been a bit of a trickster herself. I'm kind of getting very crafty. Okay, and overall, I'm kind of feeling that she sees herself as a victim, as if she's been defeated in some way. Okay, so were you really a witch? She's saying yes, and she really enjoyed being one. Mrs. Bishop, did she use black magic to hurt others? This is a resounding no. She was very unhappy. She's showing me that she was more so unhappy with men in general or just relationships and just being subjected to what women had to go through during that time. She just felt very immobilized, I'm kind of getting. Okay? So let me ask you this question, and then I'm going to just get a few questions from the cards to share with your relatives here. If I show you how to move on, would you be willing to stop hunting that area and giving into, or just simply going into the light?